Good morning, YouTube. Today is Wednesday, and it's time to give you guys some updates. Alright, so first things first, I did a couple of things since the last video. As you can see, I painted the car, but since then I've sanded down, I wet sanded the paint, and then I polished it to take out a little bit of the orange peel, but I might have to do that process again because there's still some orange peel, but that's for another time. For right now, the paint looks great. Can't really tell because it's dirty. I just washed it a couple days ago, and now it's just full of dust. So but I did do some things besides polishing and sanding down the paint. Okay, so for the paint, take this with a grain of salt. It is a bit dirty. It's been sitting for a couple of days since I last washed it, but as you can see, the paint is a little bit more clearer. It looks a little bit more shinier. Some spots might look a little less shiny because I do have to go back over those. But I did that, polished and sanded and polished the paint, and I also went ahead and painted the wheels. I also raised the car up a little bit, about a half an inch in the front and an inch in the back. So because I was running into some issues rubbing, especially while taking hard corners, so I raised it a bit to give it a little bit more clearance. So I also raised the back because it had too much camber in the rear and it was eating away at my tires. So I haven't gotten the car professionally aligned yet. I'm waiting to buy a brand new set of tires for that, but for the time being I just aligned it myself. The rear tires were way more cambered out than what you see here. This is probably about 2.5 degrees worth of camber. They were probably at least at 4, maybe. I mean, it was pretty bad. So I straightened up the camber a little bit on the rear. So, and because of that, I also did jack up the rear about an inch, so that way the tires wouldn't rub against the quarter panel. And I also, this is old manifold from my 2ZZ engine. This one has the 1ZZ, so plan on building that one soon, although that's another explanation for another day. I also went ahead and painted these flat black. I was gonna finish and get every little like nook and cranny in here, like smooth it out, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap these in carbon fiber, even though they're not carbon fiber, but I mean they're pretty freaking light. So I also made this spare tire cover. Those of you that know, most cars, especially older models, they come with that stupid thin behind, like crappy cardboard looking spare tire cover. After a while those start to bend and cave in, and mine just completely gave out. It freaking squished. So yep, I made this one out of solid wood. I can explain the process on how to make one of these. It's pretty straightforward, but there's mine. So now I can put my carpet back in and have a whole usable trunk, and it doesn't look so ugly with the sound deadening showing everywhere. So those are just a few things that I did. I was just figured I'd update you guys. So yeah, those are the couple things I did since the last video. I made the spare tire cover. I painted the canards, which I'm going to wrap in carbon fiber. Painted the wheels, sanded and polished the paint to some degree, and raised the vehicle as well as fixed the rear camber so they wouldn't eat away at the tire so much. So another thing I want to mention is that I filmed a whole video and did the recording process on dyeing your seat covers. I wanted to dye the seats because I didn't like this. I'm not gonna buy racing seats anytime soon. I wanted to dye these gray sections black. Well, I tried to at least, but it didn't work out. I bought the dye and did the dyeing process and took the seat covers off. Did everything according to instructions. As you can see, literally nothing happened. They look the exact same as they went in before. The only thing that I did was get clean seats. I'm actually going to do something a bit crazy. I'm going to actually paint these sections separately with actual paint. And the reason why is because I have some clothes, well actually not clothes, but I have a hat that used to be white. The white got really dirty and the color on it got really faded because I bleached the white to bring it back to white. Obviously the colored stitching ended up turning brown. It was a black stitching, so it looked kind of funky. So I actually painted that whole hat black with actual spray paint like that. The paint is actually sticking on there. It's actually, I've washed it and it hasn't come off. The hat is actually black now. Don't know if that will work for these, but so I'm just gonna tape off these sections right here and paint them. Eventually I will buy racing seats, so if these get ruined, it's okay. But for the time being, I kind of want to black out the whole interior. As you can see, everything's already black, and I repainted the center console and the door cards, the door accents. But yeah, I want to paint these, try to get these black so that way it matches the aesthetic of the car. I would have painted them a color, but it might look a little too tacky because these look like those off-brand racing seats that you get off from eBay. That's what these look like, and so I would imagine if these sections got painted, they would look exactly like those. I probably should have did this with the seats out, but you know, it's a process trying to get the seats out with the harnesses. So I'll just try my best to do it. Might not do it today, but eventually I'll do that. So that's it for the update for today, for right now. Like I said, I did a couple of things. I did the spare tire cover, the canards, painted the wheels, raised the car, and fixed the camber in the rear. And I also sanded down and polished the paint that's on the car, well, the new paint. I do have an idea of, I'm gonna try to get like a body harness for my phone, or like a head harness for my phone, so that way I can take some like POV shots, driving shots for you guys as like a daily vlog or something, because I don't have anywhere to stick my phone in the car, like on the window and stuff. So, and I think me personally, I kind of like the POV shots better. It's a little bit cooler, especially from the chest area. You can see the shifting and everything and the RPMs and stuff, so it's like you're actually driving the car. But I can mess around with both, see which one works out better. I could do the POV shot, and then I can buy a mount for the car, buy a mount for the phone for the window, so that way I can also do frontal shots or side view shots or whatever, you know, vlog style stuff. Eventually I'll go over a full mod list of the car. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video, comment if you have any questions or any feedback, subscribe so you guys can get up to date with more videos when they get posted. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.